of Battle for the Soul of Islam. Doctor?
It's nice to be with you.
Good
Thanks
to be
for
with
having
you.
me.
Okay, so tell me what your thoughts are on this coverage and what happened yesterday.
Well, I think basically we already know that there's quite a number of ISIS operating in America. They're having a harder time going over to Syria, so they're going to act out here. And yes, this was an act of provocation, but, you know, my work they consider to be provocation too. I've been attacked by ISIS sympathizers here in Arizona, and I wasn't surprised to see these guys from our backyard here. So bottom line is that this is no different than the Charlie Hebdo incident. And I think ultimately we do see the media reacting a little differently, but we can talk about that. But, you know, the bottom line is that these are Islamo-nationalists that will do anything to fight for their flag, which is, you know, the prophet sort of represents to them as if you were stomping on or burning their flag. And unfortunately, as long as the narrative is, oh, we're just fighting their terrorism, rather than promoting American nationalism and freedom to counter Islamo-nationalism of ISIS, we are never going to defeat this ideology.
So this is not about, you're making the case this is not about blasphemy.
No, because actually if it was about blasphemy, as a Muslim, the greatest blasphemy is atheism, is rejecting God. But the reason, as Mustafa Akyol wrote in the New York Times in January, he said, the reason these Muslims don't care about atheism or other people that reject God is because they care about Muhammad, which is what we have unique as Muslims. So therefore they use it in an Islamo-nationalist way. It's about patriotism. It's about unifying for the jihad. It's not about religiousness, though it is about theocracy. So certainly we can't divorce the religious draconian Sharia that they use.
That's why, Zuhdi, this is why it's important to say this isn't about Islam. This is about Islamists.
Exactly.
Okay, explain that for anybody who doesn't understand.
Well, Islamism is not only ISIS, but any Islamic state where the identity of your national identity is about Islam, that the Constitution is the Quran. It's not a reason-based document like our Constitution. They don't believe government's under God. They believe it's under Islam. So therefore, the clerics are empowered to write laws. The instrument of that state is the Sharia of these individuals. And there's no different than these two individuals that tried to assassinate the cartoonists in Texas or in Charlie Hebdo are no different than the Islamists of the Wahhabis of Saudi Arabia, of Iran, that imprisoned Muslims like myself and non-Muslims for criticizing Islam and equating dissent and heresy with apostasy and blasphemy.
Tell me what you think about Geert Wilders. Geert Wilders was at this event. He is